All right, welcome. Today, we're diving into one of the most stunning creatures on the planet, the peacock. But what if I told you that its breathtaking display, the one we all know and love, is basically a magic trick, a grand illusion designed to impress and, yeah, to deceive? Let's get into it. So, let's just start with this one question, right? What if all that incredible, shimmering color just isn't there? Sounds crazy, I know, but as you're about to see, the peacock is an absolute master of illusion, and its secrets are buried in physics, some clever engineering, and a really high-stakes game of survival. Okay, so first things first, let's deconstruct this grand illusion. We are going to peel back the layers on a couple of the biggest myths you probably believe about this amazing bird. First, a super quick but really important bit of terminology. The word peacock that we all use, that's actually just the male. The species as a whole is called peafowl, and the female is a peahen. So when we're talking about that spectacular show of feathers, we're talking specifically about the peacock, the male. Okay, you're ready for the first big mythbuster? That magnificent giant fan of feathers, we all call it tail? It's not a tail. Not even a little bit. So what you're seeing, that whole giant fan, that's actually called the train. It's a massive collection of super long feathers that grow from its back. The peacock's real tail is hiding underneath. It's just a bunch of short, tough feathers that act as a support system. It's like the hidden scaffolding holding up a masterpiece. So what looks like just pure beauty is actually a feat of natural engineering. All right, so we've sorted out the tail. Now, what about the colors? If they aren't from pigments in the feathers, where in the world do those glowing blues, greens, and golds come from? Well, get this. The answer isn't biology, it's physics. It all comes down to something called structural coloration. So you know how most color in nature comes from pigments, like paint? Well, this is completely different. The color is produced by microscopic structures on the surface of the feathers that literally play tricks with light. So how does this even work? Well, think of it like this. The feathers are covered in layers of tiny, crystal-like structures. When light hits them, it bounces and scatters all over the place. Because of the exact shape of these structures, only very specific colors get reflected back to your eye. That's why they shimmer and seem to change color when the bird moves. It's like a living, breathing light show. Okay, so we've covered the how, the physics, the anatomy, but now let's get into the why. Because this whole display is way more than just a pretty face. It's a complex, multi-layered message meant for a very, very specific audience. You know when a peacock shakes or rattles its train? Turns out it's not just for show. Not even close. Scientists have found that the rattling actually creates low-frequency sounds. We call it infrasound. We can't hear it, but the peahens can feel it through the ground. He's not just putting on a visual show, he's sending out a secret vibrational message just for her. And you can't talk about a peacock without talking about the eyes. Those incredible, iridescent patterns all over the train have a name. They're called ocelli. And a single peacock can have more than 150 of them. They are definitely not just for decoration. So these eyes are doing double duty, really. For the peahen, the more ocelli and the brighter they are, the more it says about the male's health and good genes. But for a predator, staring at a wall of 100+ unblinking eyes is seriously intimidating. It can create total visual confusion. It's really not just a pattern. It's basically psychological warfare. Just imagine you're a jungle cat about to pounce, and suddenly this wall of staring eyes pops up in front of you. It's a defensive strategy that's literally built right into the bird's DNA. But, and this is a big but, all of this incredible beauty, it comes at a huge cost. So for our last section, let's look at the incredibly dangerous gamble the peacock is making every single day of its life. And, I mean, you gotta wonder, right? You see this bird with a train that's like 5 feet long, dragging behind it. How does it survive? Can the thing even fly? And the answer, which is kind of amazing, is yeah, it can. Peacocks aren't exactly built for long-distance flights, but they have powerful wings. They can burst into the air to get away from a predator and fly up into the tops of trees to stay safe at night. So underneath all that glamour is a serious survival instinct. And that really gets us to the heart of the matter. That stunning train is both its biggest superpower and its greatest weakness. It's a classic double-edged sword, just made of feathers. This is the ultimate evolutionary trade-off. It's a high-stakes gamble. On one hand, the bigger, brighter, and more extravagant the train, the more likely a peahen is to choose him, which means he gets to pass on his genes. But on the other hand, that exact same train makes him slower, heavier, and a giant, shimmering target for predators. For the peacock, the drive to pass on your genes is literally a life or death risk. So the next time you see a peacock, just remember what you're really looking at. You're not just seeing a beautiful bird. You are witnessing evolution in action. You're seeing physics and psychology and survival all wrapped into one absolutely breathtaking performance. It's nature's grandest illusion, reminding us that what we see on the surface is almost never the whole story.